Hey guys, my name is Jakub Klein. I go by the nickname Elensar, and today we're going to be breaking down the making of ACS Season 2 trailer that came out just a couple days ago. So I was contacted by Gunny, the owner of ACS, about halfway through July. When it came to the idea itself, I always like to stay as true as possible to the company's already established style. So the first thing I did was research. I looked at the ACS Twitter account. I had a pretty good picture of what goes and what does not. The style they're going with is very simplistic, with dominant white and a tint of blue every now and then. That itself isn't much to work with. However, there was one thing that was a constant in their graphics, and that was this little tiny city silhouette in the background of almost every photo that they post on Twitter. The choice of going with 3D instead of the easier 2D option is easily explainable, and that is the fact that I couldn't imagine a conventional way of portraying a city in 2D. Plus, the video Gunny sent me for inspiration, which if I remember correctly was the trailer for ABAC Asia Rainbow Six League, was dominated by 3D graphics. Adobe After Effects was the only software I used for this entire video. That and a few After Effects plugins, including Element 3D and the Metropolitan add-on. That add-on made my life so much easier by providing models of different buildings and city layouts. If I were to model a whole city by myself, the trailer wouldn't come out till next year most likely. Building the city took me probably about 2 days. I need to place different buildings accordingly so that the final shot would be able to show all 12 teams at once, while also trying not to use the same models twice near each other, as there was a limited amount of models I could use. After building the city, my focus was to basically build my way up. In the first few shots, you can see the camera was located mainly near the ground. The basic idea was to progress higher up as the video went on. We had, I believe it was Team Onibi, I'm definitely not pronouncing that right, on the street in the first 3D shot of the video. Why that team in particular was there, I can't really tell you. As a returning team, it was one of the first logos I received from Gunny, and this was the first or second shot I worked on, so it just ended up in there. Originally, I also had one more shot on the ground that would show the ACS logo, but that in the end got scrapped. Moving our way up, we've had teams like, I believe, Elements, UMX, The Last Resort, and so on. And then as we reach the end of the video, we've got the highest located shots on display with teams like Revenge or BP5. A little Easter egg. I only found out about the parting of ways between the BP5 players and the organization itself the day the trailer was to be released. By then, the trailer was unfortunately pretty much locked. The trickiest thing about making this whole video was definitely the tracking of the teams onto the 3D city. Tracking makes sure that the logos stay in the correct angle and distance relative to the camera. In the shots, you can see the logos are moving with the buildings and with the moving camera. You see there are glitch TV animations during the shots. The logos aren't stale, so I couldn't just stick a plain floor on the side of the building and project the logo onto that. That wouldn't allow me to play with the animations afterwards. So it all had to be tracked, but there was a little big problem. For the life of me, I couldn't get a 3D tracker to work correctly on the footage I provided. That meant, regretfully, that most of what you see in this video was hand-tracked, a process that took me about 4 fucking days. It's honestly the most boring thing a human can possibly do, and the tracking still wasn't perfect. You see another Easter egg, on some shots you can see a little wiggle of the footage, especially the logos. Generally, I would make the logo make the TV glitch effect it made at the start of almost every shot, which would create enough distraction for people not to notice the wiggle immediately. Perfect example is the shot with Revenge and a little wiggle right in the middle of the shot. Overall, I think that the project was super fun to do though. I didn't work with Element 3D much before. Outside of maybe a few projects, I generally considered it a waste of money until now. I think the project panned out fairly well. Most people from what I've read liked it quite a lot, which I'm really thankful for. Don't forget to follow the ACS Twitter account, and while you're at it, you can follow me on my Twitter, check out some of my previous work on Behance and so on. Thanks for watching, and peace.